Hello everyone, Namaste and Pranam. I hope anybody first time joining us today. So anybody who's on YouTube, you can also ask a directly question. Also on the Zoom, whoever here can also ask a question. Please not to hesitate. It's much more fun if you make it interactive. Okay, and so anybody who's on YouTube, you can also ask a directly question. Also on the Zoom, whoever here can also ask a question. Please. Hello everyone, can you hear me? So thank you everyone for joining today. And I was reading some questions that people ask. Is the worst everybody is aware the death. Some person who asked the question is still there.
I can ask the question for her if you need the question.
If anybody in the group, anybody like to ask question from today's Sangha live, either from YouTube or Zoom in the house.
Yogi, somebody from YouTube has asked a question.
What did you please?
There's two topics, actually. I can give you, the first one is about death. And the question is, how can we help those who suffer from a tragic loss of a beloved person? What can they do to heal themselves? And can you please advise on some practices that can be advised or done to release the pain and let go? And what happens after death to the soul or the spirit of the loved one who passed away? Is reincarnation possible in a short time? If so, what does it depend upon? And is it possible that we feel the presence of someone after they've left the physical world?
So somebody left the physical body, and what they should do with the astral body. Hello.
Yeah.
The question. Repeat again, please.
Yeah, there's many questions within this. So if we break it down, the first part of it is, how can we help those who have suffered from a tragic loss of a beloved person? And how can we help heal them? Or how can they help heal themselves? So some practices to help release the pain, to let go. So that's the first part of the question.
The important part is actually a acceptance. If you cannot accept, there will always be an issue. If somebody is passed away, if somebody is passed away, they have carried their journey forward. The only difficult part is your attachment, the benefit of your emotions and senses. That what makes slightly difficult for you to let go, or the person, whoever, if find it difficult to let go. So only difficult is somebody passed away. First part is develop a understanding who is actually dying. If you see the person was here, lived with you and passed away, and have left the body, no longer available in physical presence, what actually do you miss about that person? Is actually the thing that you can do, thing that your senses can enjoy, things that your interaction with that being. If it's about interaction, means it is just only a very selfish reason, because you're not worried about that person. You're trying to heal yourself, not the person who have left. Did that make sense? So if the person is with you, left the body, the spirit have carried on their journey, but people who left behind sometimes cannot come to the terms to accept, allow their independent decision to leave the body. If you come into this life, you are not in this life for other people. You are in this life for yourself. You live this life as long as you can. Sometimes people die from a different reason, accidental or natural. There's always a reason for a death. You cannot die without a reason. Sometimes it's very tragic to, if somebody passed away earlier, premature death, we all feel, heart goes out, overwhelming, we all feel sorry for. But again, it's not about you, it's about their journey. They live their journey. They live their life. And if they have passed away, how can you come up with the terms to accept their journey to continue? How can you cannot actually heal them? Only person you should try to focus is healing yourself, the gap that left behind, the hollow space that left behind. How can you feel that? How can your senses find a similar engagement in the life that you miss? I give you the simple example. The somebody maybe not die, may not be relevant to it, but give it more clarity to it. If you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, they are your world, they are your life, they are almost everything for you at that time. The time they stop fulfilling your senses or your expectation from that person, what happened? You no longer feel exactly the same way for that person. You retrieve back, or you either betray or you leave. So it is not about the person you are with, it is always about you. That if you somebody hurting you, somebody left away, then you try to fill that gap sense or the pleasure to the sense or the existence of the sense or engagement of that sense to a second party. Sometimes you can never find somebody can replace that. Sometimes there always be a empty space. You have to accept that fact. You have to accept it to the point it is their journey, and let them carry on. You carry on your journey. If that makes sense, person whoever asked the question. So death is actually never happens. Death happens to the senses. Death happens to the desire. Death happens to the mind. In a Vedanta, we have a one term called dvais, taking a birth inside the birth. As long as if you have not taken the birth, once you have materialized into a physical body, yes, there will be a death. There will be a death for very painful for your mind as well as for the body. But if you have taken the birth of your soul after the materialization of the body, which is called dvais, taking a second birth inside the birth, means your body will die, but not you. You have recognized yourself that you are not this body. Not just only reading the book, listening to me, or somebody else saying you are not this body, you are the spirit, you are the soul, and you are the God, you don't die. It's ideology. Don't believe that. Till you created a possibility to awaken the soul inside the body, given a birth to a God in your material existence, then you can say that you are not this body. Till then, it is just only a ideology you believe, and you try to live a fantasy of the spirituality. And then it will be very painful. Your death will be very painful. Anybody goes around you will be painful. So understand yourself, understand the nature, understand the inner mechanics, the purpose of life. That will give you the healthier relationship with yourself and everybody else. If your relationship is based on the expectation of the person depart from this body, you will have the pain. So there's one more question coming through.
Yeah, there's a little bit more follow-up to that. It's about the individual's father who can't deal with the death of his own father, and that it's affected the relationship with his children. It's as if his heart's closed and he's afraid to love.
Okay. So it is a question very personal, but same time is if somebody never had a education, good education, education, I mean a not a academic education, but a education of life, education to understand themselves, you will always suffer. It will be very difficult as a children of that person who is suffering. You can take that task to give a peace or love, hold a space for that person, to show him all the joy that person can have from life. Also educate that person that you are going to die too, not just only your father. So what he can do, so his children does not suffer same way. So basically the knowledge, the suffering can be eliminated by two aspects, jnana and vairagya. Vairagya is totally dispassion, total renunciation of all aspect of it. Second part is knowledge, the jnana. So you evolve your consciousness or your awareness level to the point that you understand the ins and out of the life and the purpose of life. As long as your purpose of your life is just only to live, breathe, eat, and sleep, animals do that too. Try to find a way that how do you understand yourself? How do you discover who actually you are? What is the purpose of your existence? Why you are living in this body? If the purpose is just only to live and have a great time, then you go not to worry about why you need to cry for it. If your system of belief is very limited, based only purely on pleasure, pleasure have been changing constantly now, enjoy no pleasure. If there's a deeper meaning for the life, two types people. There's either always remain three types. Basically, they remain in limbo. One foot is spirituality, one material. One is spiritual, one material. One totally material and or totally spiritual. The difficult task becomes one day, half day I'm very spiritual intelligence, and the half the time my mind says what I do is wrong. So it's like undecisiveness. So you need to make very clearly that how do you relate to yourself. If you take on the path of spirituality, you find a lack of a material pleasure as your other friend who does not actually believe in any liberation or salvation or the freedom from death and birth concept, then you should not feel bad about it, not to compare. So, self decisiveness, how do you see yourself in your life? Constantly evolving, constantly understanding, constantly enhancing your awareness, expanding your consciousness level to be. You can be a meditative, you can meditate every day, can still have the pain. Somebody who is developed the equal state of awareness, somehow we call it. In yoga, your state of mind remain neutral when you are happy or unhappy. Remember, those two things goes parallel to it. If you believe that you are born, there is a death for you. If you understood that actually you were not born, this is not your first time, you have been many times. These parents are not just only your parents, they have had a parents. You are going to be a parent. You have had previous other parents. They are not your fixed parent. They were a child for somebody else. You were a parent too. So, question is, how you have created a relationship with yourself, identity relationship. If you identify with yourself with limitation is different or abundance is different. That is a very crucial subject because there is nobody I have seen who can live forever. And not a single house that I came to know in my life that who have not witnessed the death in the house. Today you cry for somebody, your life comes to an end. Year later, you forget about it. Maybe you only remember incarnation day and disappearance day. Occasionally, you might be sad. Slowly, one day you might be miserable. Few years later, you might be sad for few hours, but not completely. Your life change. You still carry your life. You don't die with them. So it is a very sensitive matter to wave off completely. Only advice I can give, if you do suffer from it, learn to inquire about your real existence, the purpose of being who you are. And only way you can heal yourself, you don't try to heal anybody. If you're trying to heal somebody, you're making a mistake. You cannot heal anybody. Heal yourself from expectations. You have healed them. Heal yourself from what you believe that something is missing because somebody have left. Accept that terms. You have created a healing already. If you try to heal them, if you try to heal somebody who's passed away or the gap, there will always be empty hollow because you liking the emptiness, you liking the pain that creates because you creating a identity based somebody else's non-existence. Because it makes you feel good about yourself, because it makes you trigger certain emotions inside. There's another question I can read. I have a student who lost her son, aged 10 years of cancer. For a mother to lose a child is very difficult. I can't much talk about on it. But losing, struggling with the acceptance, how would you advise the C go about finding the acceptance of losing her child at such young age? Having nursed through the traumatic illness, is it matter of allowing the grief over that time naturally heal the empty space? Is there a particular yoga practice can help? Yoga and meditation always helps because at least you will not go to a depression. Point one. Your body will remain healthy. You will not develop a bad habit. If your mind is healthy, body is healthy, that will automatically revive the atoms inside the body. Those that are grieving, they will get revitalized. They get to reprocess the prana that is holding on to the emotions. So yoga and meditation will definitely will help. Second part is for a mother to lose a child and forget about it, impossible. Especially if you have nurtured it. Only person in your life, I'm not talking about the 100%, but majority of them, your wife will love you with expectation. It can never be unconditional. If you don't, look back into the relationship. If your children loves you, expectation, not unconditional at all. Your sister, everybody else in your life loves you with a expectation. Only person who loves you unconditionally is your mother. Majority of the time. There are some cases the mother have killed their own children. Mother have done horrible thing to their children. There are some cases. There can be some selfish mom too. But majority, if you look at it, the person actually who loves you unconditionally with no expectation is your mother. And that's why actually our Vedic system they say you can never repay what you have in this body. The starting material was come from your mother. The starting material that came into this, she was the one actually who processed everything for you. But nowadays you have children, your parents, you put them in old age home. You never go, you maybe get to see them once a year, if lucky. And sometimes you feel embarrassed of them. Your mother never felt embarrassed for you, but you were in her womb. She was blowing tanks. She was a beautiful lady. All of a sudden, she's pregnant. She looks out of shape. People look at her, stares at her eyes, but she never felt embarrassed. But when you become a teenage and you see your mom, you feel embarrassed of her. So this is a age. This is the mind. But try to find a love in that space as well. So the mother in child relationship is very unique. If I say anything to that mother, that will be very difficult. I cannot be given a justification for her to move on. It's very hard to say just move on. But only thing I can say to person who have lost a child, pray, meditate for yourself to heal your body, absence of your loved one, and wish him a continue his journey wherever he may or she may have taken. So only part you can do is to accept the person is better than suffering in the body. People find many languages, many slogans, they find the reasons to be happy. But only thing I can say, not to bypass, not to suppress, also not to develop an identity, because feeling sorry for yourself because your son have passed away or looking for a sympathy. Sometimes psychologically, mind can become very clever, cannot let you heal. So you build more love to the children, love to yourself. Before you are a mother, you are a human being. And you have a right to be healthy. You have a right to be happy. You have a right to look after yourself as well. Second comes a role of a mother. You are not the mother, remember. You are in a role of a mother. You try to do your best as possible as a role as a mother. Before that, you are a daughter. You might have been a sister too. And a wife, then you became as a mother. You have gone through the role in your life time to time. This role came earlier to be ended. So you did your best as possible to fulfill that role. Now you don't have that role. Now retrieve back yourself as a human being to continue a self-discovery. How can you be a greater human being who is completely healed, not wounded inside, not living a grief life or not living a limited life? That's all I can say. The yoga meditation will definitely help. Anybody else? Do you understand so far what we're talking about? Anybody have any question? If you like to ask, please do. If not, I will go for the next question. Can you paste it, myself? You paste it, I will read it. Yeah, that's a very difficult question. Let me see what I can do. Keep muted. It's the here we go. It's a long question, but I will try to read. Guru disciple relationship. I heard a saying, I am saying few times that we should not listen, we should not believe what I tell you guys. Okay. For those who look at you as a guru or the master, who is a torch for those who seek the ultimate freedom, enlightenment, Guru's word is sacred and need to be followed since he is the one who lives in God already and whose help we need to get there too. Is again a question I repeat previously as well. Listen to me, great. But if we don't implement it, there's no use of listening. So otherwise, only time I say, if you don't feel guilty, if you do not want to feel guilt, regret, don't believe me. Till You have experiences till you are willing to implement what I'm saying. Once you implement it, experience it, you don't need to believe me. You have experience of it. It becomes very personal experience which have already transformed you. If you just believe me but not transform yourself, that is not the growth. So there is a message in there is to not let you stay in a belief system. Belief systems, you came, you believed, you became a part of the system, and you die. It does not have transformed you. It have not liberated you. You take it, you implement it. Don't believe me till you have implemented and experienced it. Then belief system no longer required. Every belief system is there as a tool to help you to create a self-inquiry, to understand yourself. And if you hold on to the belief system, again you have present yourself. Because belief system becomes your existence, not the message that came through the belief system. So my interest is not for you to just follow me what I say or to believe what I say, but to develop the essence inside you and let those essence living through you, not the belief system. Second part. What is the role of a guru or the master? If you are just only believing me, so you can just check the box. I have listened to the lecture. Now I know the spirituality. That's what the spirituality means. That is a wrong message. Till you start embarking on the path, not going to happen. I remember very early days. One day I went to see one of my teachers. As you gave my respect, I went to do a dandavat and touched the feet. My teacher said, "Get up." That was quite unusual for me to hear it because obviously I have not followed the path properly. What teacher have said, he said, "Never touch my feet." I asked the teacher why. He said, "If you are not willing to walk on the footsteps, they no use for touching feet. That is artificial. Real respect and touching the feet means you understand the knowledge that path I have walked in, you have embraced that knowledge through your crown, your ego have embraced that knowledge, and you are walking on the same path. Till your ego is resisting to accept the journey, the knowledge that my path have created, then you are not actually walking the path. Sometimes you listen to a teacher, teacher says, please eat half the bowl, your half the plate of the food. It is healthier for you. I give you an example. I was in once East London in my dear Tamil community. I was invited, and they all suffering. Knee problem, hip problem, heart problem, diabetes problem, low blood problem, low sugar problem. They lost list of problems. And I was there to talk about yoga. And I tell them, first of all, you reduce the excess unhealthy oil you consume. Cut down the salt, cut down the chilies, cut down the amount of food you eat. And sugar, the big, nice sweets everybody consume. So this, I will say, yes, yes, yes. And we understand, yes, yes, yes. When somebody say yes, 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 I know, I guarantee they are not going to follow it because it's just going over the head. They just love the idea of entertainment. For majority of the time, if the spirituality is subject to kill the time, is it you are wasting your time. Don't do it. If you are going to take something and implement it, walk on the path, please do. That's the best thing you can do. Then after that, we spent 1 hour, talked about it. Then I looked their plates. The person probably the same size as me, but the food was 3 times as me. I said, maybe I'm under eating. I questioned that maybe I'm under eating. But I said, I don't want to be in that space if I eat same amount like that. So we talked about diet, we talked about health, we talked about problems in the physical body. And everybody knows it, everybody understands it, but cannot implement it. Cannot implement it. So if you listen to a guru or a teacher or the master or your elder or advice from somewhere which can be very helpful for you in your life. Remember, everything around you is your guru. Everything around you is teaching you 24/7. Are you able to listen? Are you able to learn? Are you able to implement and process what they are teaching, what you've been taught at the time? Not a one individual person can be your teacher. Everything. So, in that process, he or she or everybody around you, if you are not listening, processing, if you're not available to implement, this teacher cannot really help you. But teacher's role is to always guide you, responsibility yours to walk. But sometimes you think I go to a teacher, I surrender my ego and my mind, and I'm liberated. Wrong idea. The journey still need to be made. You are just now being recharged. You arrive as empty wagon. You've been transformed into an engine so you can continue your journey. But what happened most of the time in life, you arrived as empty wagon, you hook to the engine, you say, I rest of my life, the engine will carry me. Wrong expectation. If the teachers giving you that advice that I will transform you, I will liberate you, they are wrong teachers for you. I don't recommend you should listen to them at all. Till they transform you into an engine, so you can carry on your path. Because you are an individual. You are part, you are inclusive, you're part of whole. Yet you are a one individual Atma, you are individual Jiva that who need to make the journey. It's not teacher's responsibility to pick you up from here, move you there. That's idealistic situation. That's what you probably would like to do it, because making the journey may require a effort. But most students are lazy. They cannot. I don't want to put any effort. Please give me the outcome. Transform me. Require effort, my friend. If you are not going to put effort to it, you are wasting teacher's time as well as yours. I speak honestly. I speak straight as possible. You like it, not like it, your problem. So, if teacher, you go to a teacher doesn't pamper your ego. I don't really like that teacher. I need to go away. I need to find somebody who validates me, who recognizes me as me. That is a modern student. Students like to be validated, recognized, recognize the ego, recognize the individual. Who are you to be recognized? You are there to learn. You are there to grow and transform. Teacher have recognized you as a student. That's what the recognition is. But try to help you to grow. But you want to recognize you as a guru. There is no longer students nowadays. They are all gurus. I tell you that much. So I always say I learn from all my students. They are not my students. They are my teachers. They teach me patience. They teach me they teach me how to teach. They teach me how to love. Even they are judging you so much, you still have to show them love. They teach me how to accept the diversity of mind. You cannot have one individual mind. I am a living student here called Joab. He thought he knows everything. I literally bowed down to him. I said, "Thank you, Master. I'm very happy." Till he put to a test, they realized not really. There's more to learn. So, as a teacher, can guide you, help you to grow, but journey still need to be made by you. And how can you learn? There's two different ways. There is a sravana, means listening, which is a lacking. Majority time students, they don't listen, they judge, they analyze. If you simply listen, listening is shruti. They will teach you to listen everything else around you. You go to a teacher's presence to listen, not judge, not analyze. Let your inner awareness analyze, align with it. So you make your ears presence. Once you make your ears presence, means you are becoming more available, more attentive to you. So whatever is happening around you, you are able to acknowledge. You are able to become more receptive. Till you are not receptive, you can go one place, two place, three place, four place. You can go as many places you like. Not possibility to a growth. How the guru and teacher relationship? What's my take on it? I said, if your teacher trying to control or trying to limit your growth, not for you. Teachers should be happy. I know the. Please let me see what is happening there. There is some teachers I know. They are jealous of their students, and I find that quite laughing actually. If you are a teacher and you are jealous of your students, you should be very happy that your students are making such a great progress. They became a seed, they are becoming a tree, and they will give a fruit, they will multiply the seeds again. But not problem is I'm not actually getting the benefit of those fruits. They are getting it. In time, if the economy, money becomes the fear of your students and disciple or the student and teacher relationship, if there's a fraction of the money becomes problem, it can never be a healthy relationship. If the freedom is not there to be an individual, it can never be a healthy relationship. There will be a the relationship based on expectation, the based on greed, based on what one can get from each other. Are you willing to be with your teacher where your teacher not teaching you anything? Probably not. You spend 2 days, 3 days, you walk away because it not satisfying your ego, not satisfying your senses, not satisfying your expectation. Biggest problem. Because you have not actually accepted the person as a teacher. So I think we are growing out of the time. But only thing I can say, the teacher and student relationship should be a healthy. It should be like a father or the mother and son or the father and a child. Or if not, as a friend. If not, as in working as a team to discover something. It can have in many relationships, but sometimes this become a problem. There's lots of issues goes along in life. You look up to a teacher, there's adoration for him. You look up to a teacher, there's a natural looking up to something, and respect, care, and love. And that turns into a very time when this becomes almost like a family drama, becomes a family drama. And crossing the family drama, the respect turns sour anytime. It doesn't take much longer. So making sure your boundaries are healthy. You're not there to grab whatever you can, either spiritually or materially, and satisfy your ego. That can be the problem. And I was saying, is one more thing I like to say. If you meditate long enough, we believe that only meditators have compassion. Do you believe that? If you meditate, you will grow compassion, you grow love. If there is that is the concept that if you meditate, you will grow love, you will grow compassion. Only person can heal the world who is meditator. Wrong idea. The person who is meditating or who is compassionate is living on the compassion of non-compassionate people. So people who is a material person also have compassion. People who is a material person also have love. That love may be diverted to back to them, not externally to other people. They still have it. You only need to make it a bit more healthier relationship. Okay. And on that note, I think anybody else have any question you'd like to ask, or we can end our conversation today. Anybody else from the group today? Let me check on YouTube. I appreciate your honesty. Bye. Okay. Thank you, CCCVA. I don't know who the person is, but I hope you enjoyed the conversation. Anybody from a Zoom group like to ask any question? Nobody? Anyway, thank you. I will end the meeting from now. Thank you for joining today at the Zoom as well as the YouTube. Thank you.
Thank you.
Om Namaste.